Good morning, everyone. I'm going to discuss now the Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Hindu Marriage Act 1955. We know that for the law student of law, Hindu Marriage Act 1955 is an important legislation because what is governed that is it is enacted by the Indian government to regulate marriage among Hindus within and outside the India. That is very important part of this Hindu Marriage Act 1955. What? That Hindu Marriage Act 1955, it is discussed, it is enacted by the government of India and it regulates marriage among the Hindus within and outside the Indias. It is one of the legislation? It is one of the important legislation. Question arises, it is one of the important legislation and all law students should know. What they should know? They should know that is to whom that Hindu Marriage Act 1955 is applicable. Hindu Marriage Act, discuss some definition that you all know. That is Hindu Marriage Act 1955, it is applies to whom? It is applicability if we discuss, this act applicable by the Hindu religion. The Hindu Marriage Act 1955 is applicable to whom? It is applicable to the Hindu religion, which includes what? Which includes Sikhs, which includes Jain, which includes Buddhists, and which is not applied. Which is not applied to whom? Which is not applied to the Muslim, it is not applied to the Christian, and it is not applied to the Parsi or Jews by religion. It is always remember that Hindu Marriage Act 1955 is an important legislation which is passed by the government of India and which is particularly discussed the marriage system within India and outside India, and this law is applicable to all Hindus, including Sikhs, including Buddhists, and including what? It is including to the Jain, and it is not applicable to the Christian, to the Muslim, or to the other thing. The Hindu Marriage Act 1955 is very important legislation. It is discussed, if we discuss the section 5 of the Hindu Marriage Act, section 5, it is discussed what? It is discussed the essentials of valid Hindu marriage. Very important. Dear law students, we remember one thing, that Hindu Marriage Act 1955 is very, very important legislation and section 5 is very, very important. Why? Because essentials of Hindu marriage, it is discussed in section 5. You understand my point? I believe you understand that essentials of Hindu Marriage Act, it is discussed in Hindu Marriage Act 1955, section 5 it is discussed. Now let us see what are the points. It is in that is section 5. Section 5 said that. What section 5 said? That our Hindu marriage, we should know that what is Hindu marriage. Hindu marriage, some jurists say that it is sacrament also. Some jurists say that it is contract also. According to old jurisprudence and old jurists, according to old Hindu law, it is fully based on what? It is fully based on that is it is fully based on sacrament. Because marriage is a sanskar. Right? And in present time, if you look, yes, divorce system is there, judicial separation is there. Now we can say what? It is a contract. Right? So now let us look that what are the essential elements of Hindu marriage. That is, one is that both the party, neither of the parties must have the spouse at the time of marriage. Because Hindu marriage said that if you are boys or girls, at the time of marriage, you should not be anyone's husband or wife. It should not be a spouse. If you are a spouse at the time of marriage, this is violate the condition of Hindu marriage. Hindu Marriage Act 1955, it says that, section 5 says that it's important for the Hindus that both the parties, is the boys or the girls, they should not be spouse at the time of marriage. If they are spouse at the time of marriage, it is not considered as what? It is not considered as, that is your it is not considered, it is a violation of, that is essential. First essential said that both the parties, they should not be spouse at the time of marriage. And second is that parties must be capable of giving consent, valid consent. Parties should have unsound minded. Parties should have what? Sound minded. That means parties should have the capacity What capacity? To give the valid consent, because consent is important. Without consent, what happened? Without consent, the marriage cannot be done. Yes, earlier system, when it was a sacrament, there was a child marriage happening earlier. Earlier consent was not so important. But in present time, it is directly or indirectly said that what? That parties should have the capacity to give the consent. That means if the parties have the capacity to give the consent, this is very, very important. They have to give the consent. And that is, they should know, that is, they should be capable. If they will be, that is not capable to give the consent, that is the violation of what? That is violation of Hindu Marriage Act Section 5, 1955 Section 5. Hindu Marriage Act 1955 Section 5 is also indicates that party must attain the majority. To get into the marriage was? To get into the marriage, both the parties must attain the majority. Question arises, what is the majority age? For girls, it is 18. If the girls is having 18 years only, the girls can get into marriage. Or for the boys, it is what? For the boys, it is 21 years. Right? It's majority of the age, it indicates that boys must completed 21 years and girls must completed 18 years. Both the parties must be, both the parties, they should not be in the prohibited degrees, and both the parties should not be in the Sapinda relationship. That is discussed in Section 5 of the Hindu Marriage Act. It is said that what? Both the parties should not be prohibited relationship. Prohibited relationship means that where the marriage is restricted. Suppose there are some relation with auntie, with uncle, with mother, with father, with brother, with the stepmother, with the stepsister. There are some least mentioned in the Hindu law that they cannot go for the marriage with that particular person that is in the prohibited relationship. That prohibited relationship marriage is totally prohibited. That is discussed in Section 5. Now if you discuss the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, I'll just discuss the important section, not all the section. Important section, Section 7. Section 7 said that ceremonies of the marriage. Hindu marriage must be performed. For the valid Hindu marriage must be performed. We remember, that is, marriage must be what? Marriage must be performed. That is, ceremonies must be done. Because the parties must perform the Saptabadi, the 7 round. 7 round in the holy fair, they have to be 7 round. That is important under the Hindu law. Section 8, if you discuss, Section 8 says that it is registration of Hindu marriage. It is necessary that marriage must be registered. Marriage must be what? Under the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, marriage must be registered. The state government must make provisions for the purpose of this act. The parties can file an application before the marriage, that is before the marriage officer, for their registration. And for that, parties have to give fill up the form. Parties have to give the necessary fees. If the marriage officer will be satisfied, then they can go for their name will be entered in the register roll, register cap, and after that, after verification done by the marriage officer, if the party's name will be entered in the marriage registered, then definitely we can say that the marriage can be registered. But we remember, in present time, Section 8 said that, what Section 8 said that registration of marriage is very, very important. Without registration of marriage, it is not happening. Now, another important section under the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, it is judicial separation. What it is? It is judicial separation. See one thing, separation is a part of human life. It's not that if once marriage is always marriage. Earlier what happened? Sacrament marriage was once marriage, always marriage. That means if you choose a husband and wife, you cannot separate earlier, because it was the relation between heart to heart. It was the relation between soul to soul. That's why it is said that it was a sacrament. Understand my point? Now what happened? Yes, now it is not sacrament. Now people are very practical in manner. If they don't like their husband, they don't like their wife, they are going for judicial separation, they are going for divorce. Why they are going for judicial separation? It is mentioned in Section 10 of the Hindu Marriage Act. If both the parties of the marriage are in the opinion that they cannot cohabit each other, they cannot cohabit each other. They say that yes, it is not possible to stay with the husband or stay with the wife. They can file the judicial separation, because the judicial separation is the steps which can be done before the marriage. Judicial separation. They have to file an application. Where? They have to file an application to the court. Once they will file an application to the court, Court will conduct the inquiry. Court will ask the parties, what happened? Why you want judicial separation? They said that both the party, we have lots of misconception, we have differences of opinion. Whenever they have differences of opinion, if it will that court will satisfy, court will pass an order that is parties should be separated. But marriage will not be separation. The application for judicial separation can be filed in the same grounds of the divorce. Same grounds of the divorce they can file. But judicial separation is not the complete separation of marriage. We remember one thing. Section 10 it is discussed judicial separation, and judicial separation is not the complete separation of the marriage. It is the before marriage there is a step. If the party wants, they can remarry together. If the party wants, they can do all these things together. If the party wants, they can